How dare you
She
even
worked
suggest
for
such a
months
thing?
without pay.
You are
What her
dismissed.
boss said will shock you. Ma'am, please, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Just pay me what you owe. But the rich woman scoffed, sipped her latte, and walked away. 6 months of unpaid labor, 6 months of broken promises. And the maid finally collapsed on the driveway. What the security camera captured next would send shockwaves across the country and turn the housemaid into a household name. Please support us by subscribe, like, and share for more with activating the notification bell. Thank you. Brianna Reynolds was a wealthy woman living in a gated community in Westchester, New York. Her house had 10 bedrooms, an indoor pool, marble floors, and a garden that needed its own GPS. She had a successful tech entrepreneur husband, a nanny for her kids, and multiple house staff, including a 47-year-old housemaid named Rosa Fernandez. Rosa was an immigrant from El Salvador who had quietly served the Reynolds family for over 2 years. She was loyal, soft-spoken, and hard-working. She cooked, cleaned, and even looked after Brianna's children like they were her own. But one day, after her usual 12-hour shift, Rosa humbly asked, "Ma'am, it's been 2 months. I haven't received my salary." Brianna waved it off. "We're just rearranging our finances. You'll get it soon." But soon turned into weeks, then months, 6 months. Rosa's rent was due. Her son, who was recovering from surgery in El Salvador, was out of medicine. She hadn't eaten in days. Yet every morning she still arrived at the Reynolds mansion by 7 a.m. sharp. One Sunday afternoon, Rosa collapsed on the front porch. The security guard rushed over. The camera on the doorbell recorded it all. The moment she fainted, and Brianna stepping out, sipping a $9 coffee, frowning like Rosa had ruined her weekend. The footage, which would later go viral, captured her, saying, "This is not my problem. She shouldn't push herself so hard if she can't handle it." She stepped over Rosa, literally, and walked inside. The security guard on duty, Miguel, had known Rosa for a while. She often brought him leftover food from the Reynolds kitchen. Seeing her collapse like that stirred something inside him. Miguel didn't just call an ambulance. He also saved the footage and anonymously sent it to a local journalist named Kayla Simmons. Kayla was already known for exposing labor abuses and exploitation. When she saw the footage and interviewed Rosa in the hospital, she was furious. Rosa was reluctant at first. "Please don't get me in trouble. I just want what's fair." But Kayla told her, "Rosa, this isn't just your story. It's the story of thousands like you. If you stay silent, it keeps happening." With Rosa's hesitant permission, Kayla published a report titled, "Housemaid Collapses. After 6 months without pay, employer steps over her like trash." The article went viral in under 12 hours. News stations picked it up. Influencers began sharing it. Brianna's social media accounts were flooded with backlash. "How do you live in a mansion and not pay your maid? You stepped over a woman who raised your kids. If there's a God, he's watching." Brianna tried to do damage control. She claimed Rosa had exaggerated and that they were sorting out payroll issues. But screenshots of Rosa's text messages begging for her salary painted a different picture. Meanwhile, Rosa's GoFundMe, started by Kayla, raised over $50,000 in 48 hours. 2 weeks after the story went viral, a group of labor rights attorneys approached Rosa and offered to take her case pro bono. She filed a lawsuit against Brianna Reynolds for wage theft, emotional distress, and labor abuse. The courtroom drama captivated the nation. Brianna arrived in designer heels with a celebrity lawyer. Rosa walked in wearing a modest dress holding her rosary. The media dubbed it "The Maid versus the Millionaire." Under oath, Brianna insisted that Rosa was like family and that they just lost track of payments. But the prosecution presented bank records, surveillance footage, and testimonies from other former maids, all unpaid, all scared. One woman testified, "Brianna told me, You're lucky to even be in this house. I left after she skipped 2 months of my salary. But the most heartbreaking moment came when Rosa took the stand. My son called me from the hospital, she said, voice trembling. He said, Mama, I need the money for medicine. I told him to wait. I believed. She would pay me. Every day, I believed. Brianna's lawyer tried to object. The judge overruled it. In a stunning twist, Brianna broke down crying. But it wasn't enough. The judge ruled in Rosa's favor and awarded her $120,000 in unpaid wages, damages, and compensation. The trial sparked national conversations about domestic workers' rights. People began questioning how many others like Rosa were suffering in silence. Talk shows invited Rosa. Podcasts praised her bravery. Advocacy groups started using the hashtag #JusticeForRosa. But Rosa wasn't interested in fame. She said in one interview, I just wanted to be treated like a human. I clean homes, but I'm not dirt. Inspired by her courage, a senator proposed the Rosa Protection Act, a bill aimed at ensuring domestic workers get legal contracts, fair wages, and access to complaint mechanisms. Schools invited Rosa to speak. So did universities. She spoke with such grace, said one student at NYU. She wasn't angry. She was full of hope. As for Brianna Reynolds, she lost multiple brand deals, was dropped from her charity board, and quietly moved to Europe to escape the media firestorm. Rosa, on the other hand, bought a small house in Queens and brought her son over from El Salvador. She even started an organization to help other immigrant workers. Rosa's story didn't end in the courtroom. It began a movement. Within a year, over 300 women came forward, filing similar lawsuits. Many said they felt strong enough because of Rosa's example. Advocacy centers across the country reported higher engagement from domestic workers than ever before. Netflix approached her for a documentary. She declined, but agreed to let them tell the story if the profits went to her. Foundation. By year's end, Rosa was named in Time magazine's Women of the Year list. The caption read, She swept floors. Now she's sweeping injustice out the door. When asked what gave her the strength to fight back, Rosa smiled and said, I was afraid, every day. But there came a moment when I was more afraid of staying, silent than I was of speaking up. She now runs workshops for immigrant workers on how to protect their rights. She tells them, know your worth. Don't let anyone treat you like you're invisible. And maybe the most poetic ending of all? The Reynolds mansion was quietly listed for sale. Rumors say the financial strain of the backlash took its toll. But Rosa? She now lives in a simple sunlit house, paid for with dignity, not pity. In a world where the rich often silence the poor, Rosa didn't just raise her voice, she raised hope for millions. And that shocked everyone.